The first thing I'm doing is sleeping more. My sleep has been so bad recently. I've been going out and I've been coming home late and I've just been on my phone before bed and things like that. And it's genuinely affected me the most out of anything. So, if you want to get this academic comeback that you want, you need to start sleeping more and waking up at a sensible time. And when I say sensible, I mean maybe just an hour earlier than you wake up, or even half an hour earlier, because this is going to give you an advantage that you didn't even know you could get. I haven't been doing too well sleeping recently. I went to this gig and I lost a part of my watch, my Whoop watch, and I recently just bought a new strap for it. So I don't have an alarm, pretty much. I didn't have an alarm, so I overslept a bit. And how I felt knowing that I'd missed an extra hour of my day that I always used to have is kind of, it felt like I was at a disadvantage, you know. So what I'm going to say is, say you get up at 7 o'clock to go to school, and then that includes 7 until leave about 22, say, or half past. If that's how long it takes to get to school, wake up at 6, wake up at half 6, and if say, oh, but then I'll be really tired, just go to bed an hour earlier. Trust me, you're not missing out on much at all, or if anything at all. One of my friends, he goes to bed at like half 8 every day, and I still speak to him all the time, you know. And something he said to me ages ago was, "What's the point of staying up? I don't do anything anyway." And I kind of brushed off my head. Now I think about it, it's like, yeah, what is the point of staying up? After you're not going to actually do anything past 9 o'clock, realistically. You might watch a film, but you don't need to watch a film. You know, you're only doing that so you can, because you think you need to stay up until like 10:30 every day. You know, you just don't need to. So just realize that. Just go to bed earlier. It's not as deep as you think. What I mean by that is, you can just go to bed. You don't need to have a whole like shutdown routine. There might be 3 things you have to do before, just to prepare yourself. Don't have your phone on too bright. You can go on your phone before bed, yeah, fine. Don't do anything that is going to spike your emotions. So anything that if you watch a really funny video before bed, you're going to be all excited and stuff like that. Or if you watch something that's going to anger you, you're not going to be able to sleep. You'll just be agitated. So but you still go on your phone, you know? It doesn't really matter that much. Obviously, it's better if you don't, because you'll get better sleep. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, if you're sleeping long enough, your quality of sleep should be fine. If it's regulated, that's the other thing. Get a regular time to go to bed every day. So just say, I'm going to bed at 9, or I'll be in bed by 9, or I'll be in bed by 9:30, and then you can go off your computer. It could be at 8:30 that day, or 9:20. It'll be either time. As long as you're in bed by 9:30, it's fine. I do that instead of saying like a time when I go to bed, because then I think it'll be 9 o'clock, and need to be in bed by 9:30. I'll think, oh, I'll wait until it's 29, and then I'll get to go to bed, and then I'll need to brush my teeth, I'll need to go have a shower or something like that, and then I end up going to bed at like 11:30 somehow from just stalling. So far the advice is regulate your sleep. You're not going to be missing out, remember. Keep that in mind. That's the one thing I want to drill into your head. If you go to bed earlier, you're not going to be missing out on anything, really. For the academic comeback, you need sleep. The reason you wake up an hour earlier is because you need to be working first thing in the morning. And I mean working. I don't mean scrolling through a past paper or anything like that on your document. You're not even absorbing it. You know, you can't be bothered printing it out because you're thinking you're saving paper, but realistically, you're just lazy, you know. Get some work done for yourself. Get work done for yourself. And then the day before, go print out some questions and keep them on the side of your desk. And then when you go to bed, make sure there's questions for when you wake up in the morning, and just fucking smash them out. Because genuinely, if you can just firm that one bit of the day of just doing questions before you even wake up even, then you're just going to be ahead instantly. Everyone's going to be saying that, oh, I don't have any time to do anything anymore because I've spent like 2-3 hours after school doing this, and then I got to eat, and then I go to bed. It's like, if you can do that before they've even woken up in the morning, you've got such an advantage on everyone else. You just use your brain. But I think an hour's fine because you're a lot more focused in the mornings, so it doesn't really matter too much, you know. If you're so focused, you're going to be absorbing 2-3 times as much as the people who are doing it after school, and their like brains have been fried all day from going on fucking Instagram reels and just eating shit food all day. So you're going to be working better than them because you'll be fasted, so you'll have a more clear state of mind. You know, you would have just got up, so you haven't really just killed your dopamine receptors in the day from going on TikTok. It's such an advantage just getting up an hour earlier. For focus, a lot of people say, move rooms and things like that. I work in my room fine all of the time. I do believe in environment change, but I don't think of it too seriously. For me, environment change is just making sure I don't have fucking Steam open. I don't have Overwatch running in the background, so I'm not tempted to click on it. And even if I was tempted, I'm usually pretty allocated. If I want to work, I'll work, And this is what my dad taught me, really, because my dad's office is hardly the perfect condition. There's like the floorboards are broken and stuff like that. There's stuff all over his desk, and people say, oh, that's going to clutter his mind. He knows if he wants to work, he'll work. It doesn't really matter if there's things in the way, That's a big thing that a lot of people don't say. They say, oh, you need a really clean desk. Well, I've got shit all over my desk. A glass here. I've got a book, my light remote, wallet, some duct tape. I've just got stuff all over my desk, and it doesn't stop me from working at all. Environment isn't as big as a factor as you think it is. I'd like to say that. So get better sleep. Just know when, if you want to work. And the last thing towards getting your academic comeback is you actually need to want to have an academic comeback, because you'll hear your friends say, oh, I need to lock in. I need to lock in right now. And then you'll think, yeah, that me too. But you don't actually mean it when you say those words. You might think you do, but you don't actually mean it. And this is kind of a life lesson in general. If you ever think about quitting or starting something, you actually need to want it. And you'll know when you want it hard enough that you'll actually commit to it. If you say, I really want to learn piano, you'll say you want to learn it because you'll hear your friend play a piece and you think, oh, that's so cool, I'd want to do that. And then you never end up learning it. And then maybe you hear him do it again and you hear how he's gotten this experience. And then you think, yeah, I want to learn the piano. And then you don't learn it. And then eventually, like 2 more times happen. And then your mind will be so focused on actually wanting to do it that it'll make it happen. And this is the same with revision. If you want to revise and get better grades, you will do it. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, I need to get academic comeback, yeah. I need to force myself to lock in and just get school done. Do you actually want to do it? That's the main thing. I want you to get jealous of other people. Alright? I want you to be jealous that some people are able to revise for 3 hours straight without distractions. And you know these people, There's somebody in school who everyone else says, oh, look how weird they are. All they do is revise all day. And then secretly you're like, damn, I wish I could do that. But you don't say, like, it's awkward with your friends. Become that person, but then don't tell anyone. It's so much cooler when you're able to do 3-4 hours of revision a day and then still go out with your friends and they have no idea. For example, if your friends are all getting drunk on the weekend, you go out and get drunk on the weekend and then go and see your other friends who are like the nerdier people and go study with them. And then at the end, the nerdier people, they're not seen as cooler, but they get good grades, and so do you because you hang around with them. And then the people who you got drunk with, they are seen as cool, but they don't get good grades, but you do. So you just win, And this is all from waking up an hour earlier and going to bed earlier, so you're not even losing sleep, and you just want to do it. It's really simple, this idea of an academic comeback. Don't look at the 7 tips on how to revise properly. If you want to do it, you will, I'm going to give you one last piece of advice, more on the academic side here. So what can you actually do to revise? Because it's usually, I want to revise, but I don't know how, which I kind of think is a bit bullshit, but, sometimes this is actually true. Usually that means I want to revise means I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to give up. Because you can always just look for it yourself. But I'm just going to give you some ideas. Past papers, go look at a question. You see what is going on here. You read the first question, what's going on. Research into that, learn it, and then come back to the question. Don't just skip onto the mark scheme. Look at the question, relearn the question. It might take you an hour to learn it properly. Do the question, you get it wrong, you're like, what the fuck? If you get it wrong, just find a resource where there's more questions very similar to that one exam question. Do them all until you get that original question right, and then tick, done. That might take you 2 hours for 4 marks on a question. But then guess what? Because you've done this hour or 2 on one question that's supposed to take you 5 minutes, when you get to the exam, it's going to be piss. It's going to be so easy. Alright? And we've got about a month at the time of recording this video to do the exams. If you just keep doing questions like that, and you keep looking at the mark scheme, you keep making your way through it, and things like that, and just learning the skills and then learning the actual content itself, and then just applying, test yourself way more than you should learn. I'd like to say that as well. Don't focus on learning, focus on testing yourself, because that's where the marks come in. They're not going to extract the knowledge from your brain and be like, oh, this guy knows a lot. No, they're going to look at your answers and the way you've written it, and they're going to give you marks based on that. Knowledge is only half of it, and the rest is actually writing it, and the writing takes a lot less time to learn. The actual technique takes a lot less time. So focus on that, I'd say. And that's kind of it. Academic comeback will happen to you if you want it, though. And that's a final message from me.